Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I have some fantastic news. So, as many of you guys know, I have talked shit repeatedly about my sperm donor, my blood father, Joseph Haggard, um, whose my middle name is his namesake. This man was an adulterous, alcoholic, narcissistic swine. Now, granted, the last part, that last word, is the only part of that descriptor. That's my opinion. Everything else is fact. He was a narcissist. He was an adulteress. He was an alcoholic. Literally, I still don't know because nobody's told me because everybody else is being mournful about this, even though I'm not. This man abused me. This man abused my sister. This man abused every fucking woman he's ever been with. He emotionally neglected us. He threw my meds in the garbage. He would drag me as a toddler around to all his different, situationships, to the point where once I reached a certain age and started talking about it randomly in the back of my mother's CRV, he stopped doing that and got really defensive. And I remember that because I remember pointing, hey, that's where we met my new friends. And she's like, Evan, when did you go over there? And I'm like, Dad took me late at night sometime. Needless to say, there's a lot of yelling in that house that evening. But I digress. Joseph Haggard is now dead, and I'm very happy about this. Now, I want to be very, very clear that this is, I want to, because everybody thinking like, oh, this isn't I have a father. I have a man in my life that has loved, raised, and taught me how to be an adult. That is my stepfather, my mom's new husband. And I love and respect this man as my father, and the only reason I don't call him dad is because that word is sullied to me because of, again, Joey Haggard. I call him dad. It doesn't feel like a good word to me. I have long since mourned the death of my relationship with my father, with my blood father. I have long since, gotten over, the fact that my blood father is, for all intents and purposes, an abject monster, and everything he did to me. I've mourned that, 5 stages of grief, the whole 9 yards. This is just pure excitement because I have preyed on this man's downfall for years, and it happened. The fact of the matter is that he was going to die regardless of whether or not of what, like, he was not going, this man was not going to reach old enough that I would have to be his ward and then ship him off to the lowest rated retirement home halfway across the country in some bumblefuck state like Oklahoma or some shit. So to me personally, this is great because he's not going to be a financial burden to me later in life. I knew we all knew Joey Haggard wasn't going to live to the ripe old age of 60, 70, 80. The man died before he hit, I think before he hit 50. Or at 50, for that matter, because he's only, he's probably 50. Like, he was a little younger than my mom. He's probably 50, give or take a couple years. Functionally, at the end of the day, this man was either going to go into liver failure and not be able to get a transplant because, again, 30, 40-year alcoholic, by the way. He started drinking when he was 14 years old. Second, he was going to get killed because he ran his mouth to the wrong person. Or third, he was going to end up dead in a ditch somewhere because he got hit by a car or something while drunk in public. So him dying is not a surprise. I do worry about some other family members of mine, some people that, he had fooled into thinking he was somebody he wasn't. I mean, if you're a narcissistic alcoholic and a piece of shit when you're drunk and an alcoholic for 30 years of your life, and you're for 35 plus years of your life, and you're in your early 50s or some shit, and I gotta be honest, he started drinking when he was 14 and he didn't stop until the day he died. I'm gonna be real with you, I don't think there was a nice person there. That person died the moment he took a sip from that bottle at a house party at the age of 14. I'm just saying. So that person that many of my family members think is there probably hasn't existed in decades. The man was very charismatic. Um, he cared to the point where like he was able to convince his union and Baltimore public school districts to pay for his rehab for damn near a decade after he hadn't been working in Baltimore County public schools for years. He also he also would steal thousands of dollars worth of equipment from Baltimore County Public Schools. There were 3 Mac desktops he stole from the schools. I remember multiple times we went to the school and he would just have us pick up stacks and stacks and stacks of laptops and just bring them home with us, and just never return them. He stole thousands of dollars from Baltimore County Public Schools, both in terms of wasting money on his failed attempts at rehab just to placate his family to think he was working on his shit, and in the fact of stolen goods that he would steal. And he would also force me and my sister to help him steal by carrying them out to his car. He was a terrible human being who like put a public facing mask on as somebody who was like charismatic, entertaining, kindish at face value. That people might miss that, but behind closed doors, he was a reprehensible piece of shit who cheated on every single woman he was ever with. He cheated on my mother. He cheated on my stepmother. He convinced a woman after my mom's stepmom, he convinced a woman to leave her husband and child who was my age, a minor, by the way, a 16, 17-year-old kid, because this is when this happened, and this was the last person who I kept track on because I stopped giving a shit. Quite literally, to leave her husband and kid and then buy a house on her credit because his credit was shot. And then within 6 months, the sod fell apart because he wasn't able to keep it up 100% of the time. And she went to her mom and was like, oh, fuck, I got to get out. And I'm like, and we hear about this all through intermediate parts. And I'm like, of fucking course. If every fucking woman that this person has been with before you has said to you, hey, don't, he's bad news, and he's gaslight, and he keeps saying no, they're just bitter and all that. Maybe it's him. I'm just saying. But Dickhead McGee is dead. I have had a fucking terrible, my girlfriend got hurt, her foot, she's not able to move, the dog is sick, we were able to get the surgery through the subathon, but that's great. I wasn't able to get the job I wanted, that was perfect, it was 100% remote, rough week all in all, but I've been streaming nonstop I'm recording this during a live stream for nonstop for hours and hours and hours, for days and days and days, and you know what? Getting this phone call and hearing about this man's death, I am happier. I was generally kind of elated when what was his name, Rush Limbaugh died, because he was a piece of shit that that poisoned a generation of minds in this country. I was happy when Henry Kissinger died. That man killed hundreds of millions of people all across this planet and was lauded as a hero or some shit. But this, I was happy for meme reasons, but this genuinely brings me a level of joy that I haven't felt in a long time, and I needed this week. So Joey Haggard is dead. Rest in piss. Go, if I don't believe in a hell, but I know that fucking Satan's packing his shit in, so we'd love to hear that. Have a lovely rest of your day, everybody. I don't fucking know. My great-grandmother begged me on her deathbed to believe in God again. And you know what? This event, I needed this. I don't know what it is, but that sounds like divine intervention to me. And maybe Gigi was right. Maybe I should go to church again, because this, I love this shit. So, on that happy note, ladies and gentlemen, down here is Copper. We're working on getting him some stuff for a surgery, and also getting some testing, and also we figure out what's going on with his kidneys. Just some help to help give an old dog some a good lease on life and quality of life. So HIMediaTV/donate. You can see it. Excuse me. Here, or rather, at himedia.gg/donate. Link in the description. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you guys next time.